Welcome to the Morning Sanity Check, where we talk about the different pillars of resilience: spiritual, physical, social, and mental. Join us so we can talk about it, then be about it. Let the show begin.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Sanity Check.
Good morning. And I'm Camille. Hey.
Yes. This is a great morning. And we're here to make sure everything that you say you're going to do, you do it, but you do it with sanity. Right on. This is great. So good morning, everyone. Yes. Hello. All right. Got your coffee and your notepad. Yes. Hey, look, let me check this out. I got something now. Normally, when the sun is like halfway down, I get my num juice. Okay. Whatever you put in your cup, that's your num juice.
Yes.
Morning. I got what you call hustle juice. Right on. Get your hustle juice on. Yes. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time on, make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook so you can join in the conversation live so your comments can pop up and so you can engage with us. Good morning. So let us know where you're watching from. That's always good. Okay. Where are you in the world? It's one thing to wake up saying, but it's another thing to wake up saying where you're at. Trust me, Some folks don't even know where they at mentally or physically, right on? So, yes. So what's going on, Miss Camille? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's funny you have that cup because somebody just made me a cup and it says she has mad hustle and a dope soul. And I was actually going to use it this morning, but I put it back and I see we both got on our red today. It's the holidays, so I got my red cup.
Right. Stiff.
Yeah, but life is good. It's been a very busy week, very productive week. You know, we can be busy without being productive, but it was a very productive week. So although I am mentally exhausted, I am very, very happy that so many things happened this week. So I can't complain about that. I mean, just little things that just let me know how blessed I really am. So what about you? How has your week been? I know you've been hustling too.
Oh boy, it just doesn't stop. I mean, it's been good. It's been good. Looking forward to what 2021 has for us, and it's good. But of course, it takes a lot of preparation and really some sleepless nights, if you will. And it's different when you retire and you're not punching a normal button like everybody else. You wake up, hit the button, and then you clock out. No, it's no clock out when you're hustling.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as clocking out. So I really had to get my mind wrapped around that and realize that nothing is going to produce anything without some work going into it. It's an old saying, and it's in the Bible too. What is it? Prayer without works is dead. So you can pray for everything, but it takes a little bit of gumption.
Yes, it does. That faith requires action. You know, a man that don't work don't eat.
Yes, and it takes some of that hustle juice to get you right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our wrap up, where we came from as far as the sanity check, where we are now, and a little bit about our 2021 vision. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the vision boards, and it's going to be very, very good. So I want you guys to stick around because we got to take a minute for our guests, and not our guests, but our sponsors, and we appreciate them. But make sure you share this. Take some time, share this while we are doing our advertisement, and we will be right.
Integrity Consulting and Professional Services, LLC, is a minority, female-owned, nonprofit management consulting agency located in Humble, Texas, north of Houston. The owner, Jackie Dozier, has over 36 years of nonprofit and for-profit business management experience. She can take your idea from thought to manifestation while offering a myriad of services to help you successfully manage your business along the way. Her services include state filing anywhere in the United States, getting your employee identification number and 501c3 tax determination, providing cooperative and service agreements and mandatory documents, one-on-one grant writing training and consultation, board and staff development, and more. Ms. Dozier's clients include the U.S. Departments of Health and Human Services, the Administration of Children and Youth, U.S. and Caddo Parish, Louisiana Departments of Education, and the list goes on. References are available. Check her out on our Facebook page, Integrity Consulting and Professional Services, LLC, and contact her by email at integrityconsultingpsllc@gmail.com. Rates are competitive. Say you heard about her on Sanity Check for a 5% discount. ICPS, providing all of your small business and grant writing needs with integrity and professionalism.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Sanity Check. Yes. And so I just wanted to make sure we put this back up here. So many celebrities and non-celebrities have passed away. Be grateful for breathing. Absolutely, because, and I mean, even Debo. My goodness. It hit me, and do you think about it? There's so many individuals just within Friday alone. 4 individuals from Friday have passed away since, right? And so it's something, y'all, just be grateful. But anyway, good morning. Hey, Auntie, that's my aunt there. How you doing? Yes, and thank you. Yes, my aunt, she was dealing with some health issues this past a couple of weeks, and I'm just glad she's recovering well. And it wasn't the COVID, right? It wasn't the COVID, and I love my auntie. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about our 2020, right? It's the wrap up, and we're going to get into the vision boards. But before we do, I want to give you guys a little bit about how the Sanity Check was birthed. So the Sanity Check came out of this COVID crisis, and I realized, just by having a platform with the Lions then, that I wanted to have something a little bit more intimate to talk to our viewers about, as far as just keeping resilience going through these crazy times. So not only did you have the pandemic going on, you had the social unrest going on, and then people on TV talking crazy. So I wanted to help bring a different breath of fresh air when it came down to just who we are as individuals, not what people say we are. So Saturday morning, I started it, and then it was going good. And then along came Camille. She would call in, right? And she give comments. I said, you know what, how about she, come on and be a guest. So she was a guest, and then, great feedback and great chemistry. And then it was like, hey, and one of my friends, actually, AG, he was like, man, you know what? Y'all might want to do something because it flows good. And of course, I'm not a prideful individual. Say, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. No, I take a step back. Look, if somebody says something that you're not picking up, pick it up to look at it for a minute. It might not be nothing, but just pick it up. When I picked it up, I said, nope, that's a win. So therefore, here we are today. So now Camille, this is going to give you a little bit of the analysis of where we've come from and how we got here today.
Well, first, I want to say thank you, Seth, for having me on. But even before that, I guess now that the history is out there, thank you, AG, for seeing something, in our chemistry and the thing that we had going on, because it really has blossomed into something that I never could have imagined. And it has been very fulfilling for me. And I know that it has changed the lives of so many of my friends and family who come on here, and support us week after week. So thank you for that feedback, because that's why I'm here right now. And Seth, again, thank you. I always thank you because I don't take it for granted that you gave me the opportunity to come on here. So I want to say thank you to you as well, along with our listeners and viewers and everybody else who takes this time out of their day. But here's a few little insights that I wanted to talk about. Me and Seth had our very first show together on May 16th of this year. I know it seems like a long time, and I feel like, we've been friends for a long time, but it really hasn't been that long. And since then, there's been 30 Saturdays. We committed to doing every Saturday. There have been 31 Saturdays, I'm sorry. And we only took one Saturday off. Now, he was in certain places, I was in certain places, but we made commitment to you guys and to this platform that we would show up every Saturday, and that's what we did. So we had to take the one Saturday off because of some issues, but other than that, we have been here every Saturday for you guys for 30 Saturdays almost in a row, because that was in May. The other thing I want to say is that we now have, from May till now, and it's because of you guys, there are 977 followers on the page. Now, that's people that follow the page. You know what I mean?
Yes. Can't wait for that 1,000.
1,000. I still have a goal. I'm visualizing it that we will hit 1,000 before 12:30. So, and that gives them one extra day for the year, but before 12:30, I believe we'll be at 1,000 followers. So thank you guys so much. Another insight, we had a few started, I guess it's been a few weeks now, or a couple months now. We started doing kind of motivational quotes. So these quotes are, a mix of people out there, things that are on our mind. Even the last one that I wrote was really from my kid. Half of it was from my kid, and, little insights and things. So one of the most popular posts was the one about if you want something, you take care of it, and why do we do that with material things, but not ourselves? And that post had 6,300 likes on it, and it was shared all across everywhere. A second favorite post, I guess, was about the gut feeling that I put out. I think it was earlier this week. Actually, it was this week. So in a couple of days, it had 5,700 likes on it. And then the third most popular one was the one about David Goggins, about the 40% rule. When you think you don't have any more left, you probably only used about 40%. We can always push ourselves more, but that post had about 5,500 likes. So that was exciting too, that the motivational posts that we put out there are reaching the masses. We have 977 followers, but as you can see, the reach is just going and going. A couple more things I want to say, that for a couple of months, we went from just, maybe 1,500 engagements or something like that. When we started doing the motivational points, we got over 30,000 engagements in a month, over 20,000 in another month, over more. So Sanity Check is reaching. It wasn't something that I ever thought, or maybe Seth ever thought it would be what it is now. But then again, yes, because that's what we do. We visualize, right? We don't ever want to settle for status quo, for average or whatever. If we're going to do something, and I know Seth is like me, we want to do it with everything that we have. So that was great. And so those are just some of the little highlights. And I'm going to ask Seth too, but we had some favorite shows. And I know some of y'all have been with us from the very beginning. And I'd like to know what your favorite shows have been. But I'm going to tell you one of mine. I'm going to give Seth a little bit of time to give one of his, and we'll go back just and forth just a little bit and see how you guys, feel about the topics that we choose. So, and give us your feedback in the comment section too. One of my favorite ones was near the beginning, and it was the one about freedom from shame. Because that shame just holds you back from so much. And when I released the shame of the, missteps in my life totally changed. And so that was very impactful, even though I'm on this side of the, the show. It was very impactful for me to be able to share my story about having to overcome some of those things, and to give other people tools on how to overcome the shame that they may be experiencing, or the guilt, or whatever it is in their lives. So that was one of my favorite shows. What's one of your favorite shows, Seth?
Okay. Well, I would say one of my favorite shows, y'all, was the Generational Curses. And the reason why the generational curse is because sometimes we hold on to stuff that's not even ours, and it's been passed on. But and it's unfortunate because the individual that may have passed away, they gave you some mess and you picked it up like it was yours. And then so you walking around giving it to other people. And so I really don't believe in the whole generational curses, but what it is sustained, deliberate ignorance. He's right. Because why are you still believing something that don't exist? And chances are it didn't exist, right? But it might have existed 50 years ago or even 100 years ago. Here it is, 2020, and you still thinking that, like it's a problem to bank online because it's the devil. What are you doing? You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the commissary standing behind you while you writing a check. Still, but that's what I'm saying. But the reason why it's not because of your own issue, it's because of someone else's. And even not thinking, our eating habits. Chill out. It's things that we ate back in the day because we didn't have a choice. You have a choice now. There's something called Whole Foods. Okay. You don't have to gravitate to the chitlins all the time if your sugar ain't right and you have diabetes. Come on. What about you? What you think?
Well, I was gonna say that was another one of my favorites, but that takes us to the next one, which another one of my favorites was the healthy choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because after we did the generational curses, we talked about a lot of them are choices, and that when we change the environment that we're in, or we change the foods that we eat, or we change the traumas that we're under, you know what I mean, or that we experience, we can't change the trauma, but you understand what I'm saying. You take people out of those traumatic environments, then they have the opportunity to heal and to become healthy and whole again. And we talked a lot about during that time about genetics and those epigenetics and turning on and off those markers. So a lot of the things that we say are generational curses really are bad choices.
That's it.
So bad choices that have been passed down and passed down. So that was another one of my favorites. But I'm going to say we had some good some good back and forth. And here's another one of mine. And that was something that was a little bit different for us. Me and Seth both were kind of like, I don't know how people are going to take this. But how did you feel about the catching vibes?
The catching vibes. I think that it was great. I think it was good because it's to me it lets it's like a reality or sanity check. Like you're catching things that's not you need to feel, right? You need to feel, you need to be aware of the feeling that you have and stop making excuses for those feelings. Like, well, no, they're really a good person, but they showing you everything in the world that they out of line, right?
Everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, they keep showing you, but you keep giving excuses for it. So if you caught that vibe, it's the reason why you caught it in the first place. You get
Absolutely.
Now, what do you think about that?
Well, it was different. It was a different show, and Seth and I didn't really know how it would come across because we did talking about like the power of vibration and frequency in that particular segment, and we also talked about healing crystals and stuff like that. And I know that a lot of our viewers are Christian, or some people don't really understand, but everything, and we talked, everything that's on this earth was created, you know what I mean, for our benefit, or, we can overuse some things or misuse some things. And I was very surprised at the response that we got from that one, and that we just went ahead and did it anyway, even though it was unconventional, a little bit different, kind of could possibly be a little bit controversial. We say, you know what? It's something that needs to be talked about because it's a real thing. Everything is energy. Even things that you think are dead have energy and frequency. And you have to make sure that that frequency is right for you. There are healing frequencies, and then there are frequencies that really create a toxic environment in your body that will literally kill you, cause sickness, cause death, all these things. So I think that was a pretty dope one, actually. And since then, I've done a lot more on energy and frequencies and all that stuff. So I've delved a lot deeper as it pertains to that. And man, mind blowing. Yes,
it is. And then what it also gives you, it gives you the will to get outside of your normal way of thinking and know that there's energy in intentions, right? You remember when we were talking about the person that uses his love to make a chair?
Yes.
family, but then someone else used that same chair to beat somebody over the head with it, right? So it's still made out of love, but what do you do with it, right? And
Yeah.
so I think by individuals connecting attentions or intentions, if you will, to certain things, they will negate other things that could
Yes.
probably help them on around, a lot better. But now, another show that I think was very, very powerful, especially dealing with this time, is dealing with grief. You remember that?
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah,
That
dealing
was
with grief. Yes, because especially listen, this year, and I know I'm not the only one, but I've lost some loved ones.
me too.
Some due to age, some due to the COVID, and some just it's just a mess, right? Just a mess. And so, how do you deal with that? And it was so powerful. And I think honestly, it was therapy for me, right? It was
Me
like
too.
to talk
Yeah.
to someone, even though, and no judgment, obviously, but it's like, yo, this shit hurts. And then I was going through my mother passing away still. She
Mhm.
passed last year. Then my great grandmother recently passed, and my great grandfather passed, and people got the COVID. It's like, I am tired of this. You're waking up every day, and then someone that or you remember as you're growing up is no longer there. It's like, what?
Mhm.
And what I remember saying was, it's mind blowing to picture the next day that you wake up will be your first day without that person. Like,
Yeah.
how do you deal with that? What did you think about that show?
That show was very powerful. I got a lot of good responses from that dealing with grief. People who did not know how to deal with grief or how to deal with people who were just telling them to get over. Like how long you gonna mourn? Like you can't tell somebody how to mourn. We can kind of reshape your thinking about, or give you some tools to reshape your thinking about death and grief and things like that. But it's very personal.
Yeah.
It's very personal. It's part of your DNA is gone, or my father-in-law passed away, and so that's been very difficult. I was just telling my daughter she did a little rap in yesterday for her class, and I said, "Ooh, she sounds like Grandpa Tiny." He would be so proud. And then it was like all of a sudden it hit me again that he's not here. You know what I mean? That I can't call and say, "Oh, listen to this rap your granddaughter did." You know what I mean? So it's very personal, and you can minimize it because I think a lot of people we talked about that are afraid of death, but
Yeah.
it's the one certain thing in our life. You know what I mean? That people are going to die. And so when you start dealing with that, then sometimes it can make the grief process a little bit different, and I'm not going to say easier, but it's different. You deal with it a little different. So that was a really good and it was therapy for me too.
Yeah.
It was therapy for me as well. And so I want to talk to you about talking about that grief and stuff like that we talked about, but forgiving yourself.
Mm.
Because a lot of people in the grieving process, it was because they didn't get a chance to make a wrong right, or they didn't get a chance to say goodbye to that person, or wish they would have done some things differently. But we talked about forgiving yourself for all the things that you've done and being released from these burdens and of whatever. And we all make mistakes, and it's how we get through them. You fall down 7 times, you get back up 8. You know what I'm saying? And that we every single day, like the next moment, 5 minutes from now, I have no idea what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And so it's a learning process all the time. So we have to forgive ourselves because this is the first time we're doing this life thing. You know what I mean? This is the first time that we have to deal with these issues, and failure and mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah.
Everybody experiences it. Everybody. And so we have to forgive ourselves, give ourselves grace, to get through this life. If we didn't do it always right. So yeah, that was another one. So forgiving yourself, how did that one impact you?
I think that when it came down to the forgiving yourself, I've worked through that
Mhm.
prior to, and so I was pretty comfortable with that. But what I really had to wrap my mind and my spirit around was forgiving other people and loving them where they are. Loving them where they are and not expecting them to be where I want them to be. and be mad because they're not mentally there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to grace, it's one thing to give yourself grace and say, hey, this is who you are, and it takes time to get there. But when it comes down to other people, it's like, yo, look, I need to appreciate that this person is even in my life.
Yeah.
Now, I don't expect them to be what they're not, if that makes sense. And let me just appreciate them and love them where they at. It's okay. You see, I forgive them for not being me.
Yes. Yes.
See? Because, and another thing, what we do is we get upset. We get upset at individuals that don't treat us the way we would treat them. Why? See, you are you for a reason. But the thing is, when that person show you how they treat you, remember it. Don't sit there and be mad and try to force them to treat you a different way. They didn't let you know what they're capable of. Now,
Yes.
you can teach them, and what they do with that lesson is up to them, and it's up to you how long you want to sit there teaching a grown person something. If they can't dig it, they can't dig it because they don't want to dig it. So forgive that person, right? But ladies and gentlemen, please make sure if y'all here, give us a shout out and share this. This is our wrap up for the year, talking about our favorite shows and like how it's impact us, and also where it comes from. Where did these shows come from? Because it's not like we just pick things out of our back pocket, right? There's things that everyone, even you, go through, and we take your feedback, say, you know what? That would be a good show. And then we do our research and look up things, and then we chat behind the scenes like, okay, cool, what you think about this? And we have different views, which is good, right?
Yes.
You'll think this way, I think this way, but we our common denominator, if you will, is health and wellness, right? Not just being stagnant and staleness. You know what I'm saying? Change the way you thinking. All right. And that's what the sanity check is about, because chances are you may have had a certain thought for so many years, and now you got the sanity check to sprinkle a little something new. Like, oh, I didn't know that was there, and it was next to you the whole time.
Hey,
right?
We got to ignite that mind, right?
Yes. Yeah. A little bit more what we're going to be talking about. But so what do you think about our, now I know we talked about the 4 love languages, and I thought that was good. I thought that was good, but after that, I think one of my favorite ones was the 4 tendencies.
Oh, yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't remember that show, we talked about the obliger, the upholder, the rebel. I don't know who's the rebel, the questioner. And there was a lot of revolution, right, with that. What do you think about that show?
Yeah, that one was really fun to me. It was really fun because especially when you say you're in a relationship or your family members and they take the test too, and you see like, oh, now that's why, if we both the same thing, then how, a rebel and a questioner, he's a rebel, I'm a questioner, but we get along great because we can understand how to put our strengths together, how to communicate with each other, how to do all of those things. But when you don't know and you bumping heads all the time, it's like somebody got to give. And then you take something like the 4 tendencies inventory, and you realize, oh, it's just a personality. It's a lot of people like this. It's not just you. You don't hate me. You know what I mean? We just have to find a better way to do things. We have to find a different mode of communication. We have to and I'll go into this, but we have to deal with each other quite differently. And I'll just say, me as a questioner, it says I'm a questioner because I need all the facts and everything like that before I can make a decision. But on the flip side, I hate being questioned.
See?
Like, I don't like playing 20 questions.
Ain't that the craziest thing?
Yes. So you learn a lot about yourself, and then you also learn a lot about the other people that you deal with, that you're in relationship with, that you work with. And it causes you to have a little bit more grace because you're like, now I get it. You're not just really a jerk. That's just your personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the way the good Lord that made them.
Yeah.
And again, let's just give them grace. And let's just forgive them for a minute because they know not what they doing. You know what I'm saying? In this situation. And then also it helps us to look at the person for who they are and understanding their intentions. Because if sometimes what we do is if people don't do the things that we think they should do, we take it personal. Right? And it don't have nothing to do with you. As soon as you wrap your mind around that, like, oh, this is just how this person is. I'm okay and they're okay, but they're operating differently than me. Then it makes it real good because now you can say, hey, how about you take my craziness with your craziness and we're going to make something beautiful. No,
absolutely. No, I'm saying absolutely.
Yeah, that's that energy. Instead of trying to change somebody's natural craziness, they may be able to give you something that you didn't have just because it ain't in you naturally. Right? And be okay. Like, hey, I don't do things that way, but maybe I can learn something.
Absolutely. Right? I was thinking about that beautiful disaster. That's why I kind of chuckled, It's two disasters going on, but you can come together and really, really make something beautiful. And I would say once you get to know people like that, you start giving them grace, then you don't have to apologize as much. And that was another one of my good shows that I really enjoyed was the language of apology. We talk about love languages a lot, which was a great segment. But we don't really talk about how important the language of apology really is. And when you are able to find out about how you accept apologies and how your partner or your kids or your parents or whoever accepts apologies, it makes life so much easier. You don't struggle as much with the wording or the action portion of it, trying to figure out the 5, going through all of them. At some point, it triggers and you're like, oh, yeah, I get it now. I see why they don't understand, or say, you ain't even apologize. Yes, I did. Because you weren't speaking the right language of apology. And when we get that thing down, it's really, really easy to love a person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you feel validated. You feel like, they care about you. You feel loved. And then they took this time out to really speak my language. And I want to give back to them. I want to love them in the way that they want to be loved. So that was a great one for me. What about for you? How did you feel about that one?
I think it was good. I think it was real good because the language of apologies is huge, but it's more important for the receiver, right?
Yes.
It's more important for the receiver because I need to know what I need first. Like I have to educate myself, and then I can tell you how to apologize to me, but not like I'm not going to discredit your apology. Say, nope, you don't really mean it because you need to know. I'm gonna have to say, listen.
Yes.
The way I understand an apology is this, and this. I heard you and I respect it, but I'm going to give you this. Okay, this is the type of food I eat. Right on. Now, if you take that and you still make something else and expect me to eat it, and I'm telling you I'm allergic to that mess. What do you expect, right? Because I educated myself. So then it's also a great point to make sure that you communicate where you are and give that individual time to say, okay, even though it's not my norm, I want them to forgive me. So this relationship is worth me understanding their apology language so they can hear me, feel me, and respect what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And I want to say, Ashley, we see these comments up here, and if you didn't tune into that one, you should go back and look at it because we addressed that. There's some people that a change of action is required. There's some people that it isn't. So it's important to know what your partners and how you receive apologies and how they receive apologies. So go back and look at that one. If you hadn't, change of action for me is like, super thing. I would have said that was my apology language, but it's actually kind of like showing remorse. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to grovel a little bit. I don't know. No, but but change behavior is a sign that they really want to make a change. You know what I mean? But even if they don't and they really apologize for it, you have to. And the other thing is that you have to if they haven't gone through it, haven't done the inventory, haven't read the book or whatever, it's important for us who have to understand that and to give the other person grace until they have, or you explain that to them or whatever, it's hard to say that was no apology. I need you to do it. And they're like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? And you beating them over the head about something that you learned, but you haven't shared the knowledge with them. And so that they can't make a change. So that's very, very important when you're dealing with them. And also that now that we know, we give other people grace, until they catch up with us. But we keep, giving them that information, but we hope that one day something sticks,
Yeah. You can be hoping all day, you know what I'm saying? But you need to understand when that person is A, trying, and B, just not willing to do it. But
absolutely.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to take a break, but this is what we're on. We're talking about our best shows or recap. But next, after our break, we're going to be talking about our vision boards and what that actually means. What do it mean to have a vision board? It's not just cutting out magazines and sticking it up there and I say I want that. No, it's a little bit more than that. All right. So take some time, share this, and we're going to be right back. And by the way, share this and think about what we're saying. Understand what we're saying and how connected this is, right? For not just you, but individuals that could use this sanity check. All right. And we will be right back.
If you're looking to buy or sell anywhere across the 50 states, contact Jamila Seals. Jamila is a realtor with Keller Williams Marquis who exudes credibility, commitment, and determination while serving the Metro East and Scott Air Force Base, Illinois areas. Her warm and friendly approach, combined with unparalleled communication skills and enthusiasm for helping others, allows her to connect and provide clients with the best possible service and experience. There are 3 things she does with and for her clients. First, negotiate deals for you. This means she'll treat your money like it's her money. Second, guide you through a simplified process, which means she'll provide sound advice to ensure you make an informed decision in identifying or choosing the right house for you. And last but not least, creative marketing. She'll provide a cutting-edge marketing plan that's tailor-made for you. Bottom line, she's going to get the job done properly and not let you down. So if you're searching for your new dream home, give Jamila a call today at area code 618-202-8751. Again, that's 618-202-8751.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Sanity Check. And we are talking about our wrap up and also 2021 and the vision, right? And the vision board. So what is the vision board? Okay. What is the vision board?
Are you asking me that, sir?
No, I was going to go into a definition, if you will, as far as what a vision board is. And simply put, a vision board is something that you can use to, it's like a visual representation of your goals, right? And you can just put something on your wall, or you can create it like a craft, if you will. Get a board, a cardboard, and just take things from a magazine, but things that you want, things that you aspire to be, and you really focus on it, but you put it somewhere that you are able to see it every day. All right. So that's pretty much it. But what individuals do, they tend to create these vision boards right around the first of the year. See, and which is good. Don't get me wrong. It's like someone saying they want to start a diet on the Monday. Whatever. Like, okay. So, but now what you think, Camille? Tell me about what these vision boards are.
So just kind of what you said, you know what I mean? It's a representation of where you want to get to, what your goals are in life. It's something that you can look at every single day to remind you. And I'll say it in my words, that your actions should align with your journey towards your goal. So it's not just something that you look at, like you say, and things are going to magically just pop out of nothing, nowhere. You know what I mean? They're not just going to just say Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? But you have to actually, like you said earlier, faith without works is dead. You know, man that don't work, don't eat. You know what I mean? You still have to till that, you know, the ground or whatever to be prepared for that harvest, to prepare for the harvest. And so it is something that you want to have as a visual representation of all of your goals, where you want to be in life, your dreams, your aspirations, and things like that. So that is kind of, in my words, and I'll just say that a lot of you guys may know Napoleon Hill. He's the author of Think and Grow Rich. But he says man alone has the power to transform his thoughts into physical reality. Man alone can dream and make his dreams come true. And that really is what a vision board is. It's allowing you to dream, put it out there in the atmosphere, and then to transform those things into reality. Because once you say something, you put it out there, energy, it doesn't get destroyed. Thoughts are energy, and energy just kind of expands, it expresses itself, but it's never destroyed. You know what I mean? Never it's transmuted, never destroyed. So once you put something out there as a dream or a goal or whatever the case is, you can make those dreams come true. But there's some things that we have to work on behind the scenes. We'll talk about in a minute. But absolutely. So that's what my take on dream boards are.
So ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that we have to do prior to our vision board. Okay. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the word Kaizen. Okay. It's a Japanese word that means change. Okay. It's all about change. Now, you can change your thought process anytime, but it takes a little bit more. It's a whole person concept. Not only do you change the way you think, you got to change the way you see things. You got to change the way you speak and all the. Oh, give me one moment. We got a caller. Good morning. Hello.
I'm calling into the Neil and Seth show.
Yes. Hello. What's your name?
Naya. Naya.
Okay. Welcome. Well, you're live. You're live right now. Go ahead. Tell me
Seth, before you guys, this is my friend Nijuk, and we're talking about vision boards. So Nijuk, I hope you let me steal this second so I can introduce you guys to her. But her name is Nijuk Tongik, and she is out of San Antonio, Texas, originally from Sudan, South Sudan. And she has an amazing story. She was just, and we're talking about vision boards, and I wanted her specifically to call in because she has such a powerful story. And I'll just give you a very small snippet, but she's been featured. Dave Ramsey did. She just did an article on CNBC, and she has some other stuff coming up. And I'll let her talk about that if she wants to. But this really is a story about the power of vision boards. And so thank you, Nijuk, for coming on and for sharing your story with us. I know that's what you're going to do. I don't know what you called for, but that's what you're going to do right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, girl. So I'm going to turn back over the floor to you and, let us hear it. So.
Well, thank you, Camille. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you, Seth. I love you guys. I just love watching you because it just brings such a powerful, positive energy. And I just can't stop smiling when I'm watching your show. So thank you for that. So I love vision board, and I love writing down my goals. And I have been doing it for years. I think the first time I was introduced to law of attraction or personal development was back in 2010 when I first joined the Army. And I started reading personal development books. My first book was How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And then I read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it just took off from there. I could not stop reading personal development, and every book that I put my hands to talk about writing down your goals, it's like it was a common theme, all the success people had, written down their vision, whether 20 years, 30 years prior to them becoming successful. They knew exactly what they wanted. They had visualized it through, whether they had a magazine, they cut it off. It doesn't matter how you do it. You just have to visualize it. So I took that on at a very young age. And I have I have example after example that has manifested in my life that I had written down. So, for example, one of the first things I wrote down was back in 2012, and I wrote down that I wanted to go back to South Sudan. I wrote down 11 things that I want to do in 5 years. And out of those 11 things, 2 things came exactly as I wrote them down. I cannot kid you. One of them was I wanted to go back to South Sudan, and I wanted to go back. I was dating a guy then, and I wrote it on there that he's going to pay for the ticket. And I wasn't even like, I was like, okay, this is a lot of money. I didn't have money to buy a ticket to go back to South Sudan. And it has been like 10 years since I've been back to South Sudan. And the next thing I knew, within 6 months, he called me up. Hey, I want you to come visit me in South Sudan. I got your ticket. Like, I was like, no way. So I went and visited him for 2 weeks. So that was the first time something I wrote down came true. And the second thing was on the same list. I wrote it, I believe I was about 27 at the time. I wrote it down and I said, I want to be married by the time I'm 30. I was a guy who was all the way in South Sudan. I was in America. I mean, like, there was no way it was going to happen. But I wrote it down. I said, I want to be married when I'm 30. And I met a guy in 2013, and we got married on my 30th birthday. Like, like it just keep happening and keep happening. And recently, I have my goals. I have 2 vision boards. I have one in my bedroom, and it has like the short-term goals that I want to accomplish. And I have a long-term vision, a bigger vision in my office upstairs in my house. And those things are long-term vision, like where I want to retire, what my house is going to look like, a house I want to buy my mom, the places I want to travel. So I have that up there, and I see them all the time. And every time I see them, I get excited, and I plan in my head how I'm going to get there. In 2020, I wrote. It was just on an 8x10 paper that I graphed from a printer, and I wrote it in the middle. I said, "Now, York, is your 2020 vision clear?" So I put it in the circle, and around that, I wrote things that I want to accomplish in 2020. And I'd give myself, like, everything I wrote down, I would have a date by it, and it would say, okay, travel outside of the U.S. by this date. That's just an example because, 2020, nobody travel anywhere. But I put it on my refrigerator. And out of that paper, one of the goals I said is I want to be debt free by the time I got out of the Army. You guys, you have no idea. I had $87,000 in debt. And I wrote this in December of 2019. Like, how were you supposed to pay $87,000? And I had 6 months to get out of the Army. Okay, so that was a huge goal and a huge dream to accomplish. But let me tell you, things just worked out. Like Camille says, the universe just pulled things around, and it just pulled people in your path. And like I always say, things just work out for me. They just work out for me. They just work out for me. Because my last day in the military was June 29th. Okay. And by July 1st, I was civilian, I was a retiree, and I was debt free. I had paid off $87,000. I am not even kidding you. Not kidding, okay? That is amazing.
Yes.
So it's a crazy, crazy dream. And out of that, I also, when I knew that I crossed that off on my sheet, I put it on there and I said, I want to share this, my debt-free journey with the world. And I wrote it on there on the same paper. And now we are here. It has been featured on CNBC. And I have Good Morning America coming to my house on Tuesday. I mean, the world going to know about it. And it's on my sheet, on my refrigerator. So write your goals down. Write them down. Put them somewhere you can see them. The universe, or you can say God, they say you don't get wet by the word water, whatever you want to call it. I call it faith. I think it's faith. I believe it's faith. But you call it whatever you want to call it. It will happen if you just believe. But you got to see it. You got to think about it. You got to trust in the universe. You gotta trust in yourself. So,
Right.
Camille, I can talk about this forever, but
I know.
I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for coming on, Nigel. I so appreciate you sharing your story because it is absolutely amazing. And I know God has a lot in store for you. This is just the beginning. So thank you for, giving us your time this Saturday morning. I so appreciate you. Love you.
I love you too, girl. Thanks for having me, Seth.
All right.
Bye.
No problem.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about and what that looks like. And and I do appreciate her being on and sharing that because it is very inspiring. And who doesn't want to get out of that? But ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to understand something. Things doesn't just happen by happenstance. You understand what I'm saying? And so you have to be able to visualize it, but also have a purposeful living. You see? And then so by doing that, things will be more receptive. So before she called, I want to talk to you guys just a little bit about how to prepare yourself to receive those blessings, if you will, in that change. So earlier talked about Kaizen, what that means, and it's a Japanese word that means change, right? So it's not only changing your thought process, but it's changing your whole surroundings, okay? Your whole surroundings. Oh, really? So hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. So think about this. Think about a stoplight. You ready? A stoplight. And if you can visualize it, you probably don't know which one is on the top, but the red one is on top, okay? The red stoplight is on top. Then you have the yellow, then you have the green. So just take a second with me. That red stoplight for your next year vision represents, let me stop doing whatever it was that put me in this current situation first. So like your friend's example, she had to put the shovel down and stop digging that hole in debt.
Yeah.
She decided to stop doing that, right on. And then so even if you're trying to get your fitness and everything right, if you got McDonald's on the way, if you see McDonald's on the way to work, how about you redirect? You get what I'm saying? Stop going past McDonald's. If you know that's an issue, stop going by McDonald's.
Yes.
Look, you can wake up and smell them fries. You see?
Okay.
Move away from, okay. So anyway, that's the stop thing. But then once you stop, you got the yellow. Yellow is now, let me analyze, right? Because you have to be cautious. Now, let me see, how do I feel after doing this? Is it hurting or do I feel good about this? Like, what have I been doing versus where I want to go? You have to do that. You have to do that. And then the green light is go. It's not just go, it's continuing that process so that you can yield what it is that you want. So that 2021 things don't just happen. You are still there and you positioned yourself so that it can happen, right? Because I was thinking in the back of my mind, so did she just write down and wish that a man would call her to pay for a couple of $1,000 trip? No, listen, I bet you she wasn't out there out of line, right? I bet you she was the type of woman, and this was for me, the type of woman that she presented herself to be worthy of $1,000 trip. You see what I'm saying? She wasn't out there stopping and bopping. You get what I'm saying? So understand what I mean. So in order to receive what you want, you have to stop what you're doing first. That puts you in a situation.
Yes.
Analyze what you're doing versus what you want, and then go into the direction of what you want. What you think, Camille?
Absolutely. That's yes, redirect your mind. You have to. One thing I will say, I think that is an important first step is you have to be clear on where you want to go.
Yeah.
So that you know what to stop. You know what I mean? So if you know that, you want to lose weight or whatever, you have to say, okay, what is this? What is the end goal for me? You know what I mean? And then if I want to lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is, what are the things that I have to stop to get there? And that comes with visualizing yourself in that position, 10 pounds or 50 pounds lighter or whatever it is. So being very clear about your goals. Najuk says she wanted to pay off $87,000 in debt in 6 months. That's more than a year's salary for a lot of us.
Come on now.
A whole year's salary.
It sounds
That
like
doesn't include paying bills.
yeah. Look, it sounds like SMART goals.
Smart goals.
Those
Yes,
of you that
specific.
don't, yeah. And so those of you that don't know, go through them real quick. Just the SMART, specific, measurable,
Measurable,
right?
attainable,
Attainable, relevant, and time.
time bound.
You know what I'm saying? So that's some things to think about when you are putting your visions on the board. Ain't just cutting out pictures and just sticking them on the wall,
Yeah.
right? Keep yourself accountable. But go ahead, Camille.
Yep. And she has 2 children, or 3 children. I'm sorry. She has 2 young boys and an older daughter. She has 3 children and a house and a car
See,
and $87,000 in debt.
see,
And she paid it off in 6 months.
see.
Talk about hustle. This girl has mad hustle and a dope soul. She did whatever it was. She stopped buying certain things, cut back on utilities. She went through her house and she picked out things that she didn't use for a long time and put them on Facebook Marketplace and anything that she can do that would bring additional income in her house. And this is what I want to say about that real quick. Sometimes there's some things, a sacrifice that you have to make to get to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about stopping things or whatever, there's a sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to go up?
Hey, now.
That's
Hey,
my next one.
check it out. Hey, what are you willing to hold on 1 minute? Let me give it a good one. Message. What are you willing to give up
To go up?
Come on now.
If you want to achieve your goals, there are some things that you have to give up, whether it's habits, whether it's people, sometimes it's family.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's status.
Yeah.
For the moment, you know, that you have to be able to say, okay, my goal is bigger than this thing right here. I got to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the way of me achieving my dream. So I got to let it go. It might hurt for a minute, but in the big picture, I think I'm going to be much better off.
Yeah.
Got to let it go. So I'm totally with you on that.
You got to. And I mean, and you know what? I think in these beautiful, glorious days of being 40, I understand how good it feels not to care what other folks think. You right? Because listen, hey, if I like me, I don't care if you don't. You remember that little girl? You remember that little girl? I like me. You know, like I don't care if you don't like me because I like me.
That's how I am. I like me.
Right. But the thing is that we have to elevate to the place where I want something for me. And if you don't, that's okay. But watch this. Let me tell you something about this train that we on. Now, I'm the train. Can you dig it? Now, you can jump on, right? You can jump on this train, or you don't. You can watch it, but you better not get in front of it. See? Don't you dare get in front of it. You see? You get me? And then if you do it on purpose, I might back up. You feel me? And then go
the whole train.
I might back up, not to pick you up, but to make you feel you don't get in front of this train right on. So we have to be deliberate when it comes down to the things that we're doing and being able to remove barriers.
Yes.
Not just people, our own thought processes.
Yes.
Because there's times our insecurities are our own barriers.
Absolutely. And I want to say something about that, Seth, because that's so important. When we talk about vision boards, people are like, oh, my vision board didn't work. It didn't get me what I was. You know why? Because your thought process ain't changed.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? You wasn't ready. It is a mind thing. Yes. Mind matters, you know, and the power of the mind is once you start understanding and living and seeing things manifest, it's just crazy. But when you say that, I want to go to this one thing. You have to believe that your dreams can come true.
Yes.
Oftentimes, you know, we have these beliefs that we're not good enough. We don't deserve it. You know, my family has always been poor, so I ain't never been poor. And then comes with that this belief that, you know, well, rich people are bad, or, you know, if I got money, then people gonna think that I'm, you know, stuck up and snobbish. I'd rather be broke and, you know, humble than rich. And no, can I do both? You know, can I do both?
Ain't that about nothing, can I? You know, y'all listen. Back in the day. Someone had the nerve, listen, and I'm being real. Somebody had the nerve to say, hey, Scooby, that's my nickname if y'all didn't know. Hey, Scooby, why you want it? Listen, it's funny now that I'm repeating this. They said, Why do you want so much out of life? Who says that? It's one thing to think that, say that, right? And so I really do feel like I have some type of DNA that makes me a hustler. I can't answer that question, but I can answer with another one. Fool, why don't you? You see, I can't. I
But
can't.
here,
Well, why? How you don't ask me why I want so much out of life?
but it's funny because that is the common answer. That's the common belief that everybody's supposed to be average or mediocre, which is why there's a top 1%, right? It's not a lot of people that think like those people that have done those things to climb the success ladder,
Come on, now.
or to go on the success journey.
Hey.
So whether we want to believe it or not, you can always tell when people they talk a good game, but when it comes to putting in that work, they be like, you already know the people that really want it, like Najuk, they go grind and they do everything that they can to get it. And then it doesn't stop because she got so much other stuff going on.
Hey, yeah.
Other people, they do a little bit and be like, oh, I'm satisfied. I'm good. I did this. You living in yesterday. What about the rest of your life?
Come on now.
That thing that you did was 20 years ago was the only thing you ever accomplished. Baby, you got bigger problems than that. We need to change your mind.
Absolutely, because,
work on your mind.
Yeah, because those points that you made last year won't have you and won't you ain't gonna win the game for next year, right on?
Why? Right on.
It's because the game changed, right? Your opponent changed. And like I said before, every level you will see a new devil. You get what I'm saying? You'll see a new devil there. So look, that devil understands where you're at right now. So now they're a barrier. So you can't use the same tricks to juke this one like you did that one because that was last year, right?
They got faster and smarter. You know what I mean?
So what that means, you got to get faster and smarter.
Yeah.
See?
And I go ahead. I just want to give you a couple little things that we hear all the time.
Yeah, you got to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't put those into practice. You know what I'm saying? That devil that was from last year, he done studied all your moves. You know what I'm saying? He done got faster, stronger. But here's the thing about the mind, and I want to make this very, very hit this hard, is that when you change, we hear it all the time, but I just want to drive it home. When you change the way you look at things, the things that we look at change. When you shift your perspective, and I'm talking about challenging those beliefs that you don't deserve it, that it's not for you, that your family, you came from humble beginnings, so you'll always have humble beginnings, and then you teach the same mindset to your children. When you change the way you look at things, things around you begin to change. Another one is when we change the way we look at ourselves, we begin to change. Because it takes us out of that same routine that we've been in all the time and say, oh, you know what? You start getting uncomfortable. And then you start getting comfortable being uncomfortable because you don't like how that felt no more.
Come on now.
You feel a sense of something else that's pulling you saying, you know what? I like this new feeling. I like this accomplishment. I can go further than I ever thought that I would. And I want to continue to do that. And so I want to say it's never too late to change your perspective of yourself, your self-worth, what you deserve. And if you do, it will change your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, ladies and gentlemen, to her point, I want you guys to understand that there are individuals that are in your life right now that would not have been able to coexist with you unless, or it took you to elevate here for them to exist in your space. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just about happenstance. You have to be ready and not putting yourself in their situation because they too had to be ready. But when you change, like she said, when you change the way you think, everything around you are changing. Then those people will change. But then here's the flip side. You know I'm good with the flip side. Make sure you watch those individuals that were there.
Yes.
Hey, watch it.
Real talk.
Watch this. The individuals that were there, if they're not ready to move up, now they're going to resent you. They're going to low-key hate on you. Look at them. Look,
try to sabotage.
Listen. What they're going to say is, look, they ain't really happy. They got all that money. They ain't happy. You know they miserable. No, I'm good. You miserable. You feel me? You miserable because we had the same opportunities, but you chose something else. Yeah. Here it is. Why is it 20 years later and you're still doing what we were doing 20 years ago? Come on now.
You ain't changed in 20 years. You ain't grown in 20 years, baby. Like, get on the train. Get on the train.
Get on the train, but don't get in front of it. You dig? Because
Right.
you will get ran over, right?
Over.
And a couple times. So that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. There's individuals, even when it comes down to relationships. Yeah, I would never have believed to be in this relationship with this person. Well, you probably didn't because you was doing some outlandish mess, right? Hey, you was out there thopping and bopping, you see? And now you got a real woman in front of you, a real man. That man can see the woman in you, right? Or that woman can see the man in you.
Yeah.
So you had to be ready. It's just not gonna happen like going back to your girl. What's her name? Najuk. Nobody's that ain't crazy gonna say, hey, you know what? I want to send you to Africa. Yeah, that ticket about $5,000, but you know what? I just want to send you that for nothing. No, she had to be about that life to be willing to receive that first. You know.
Yes. Yes, and so I'm going to say to Jackie and that's my mama, y'all. And Najak's point, those for vision boards, they should include affirmations because that helps reinforce that you do deserve these things. You know, it helps to change your mindset about who you are. It changes those outdated beliefs about what people told you. It challenges that every time you look at those words that says I am. And we have posted in the sanity check, one of the two powerful, the words that follow, I am, are the most powerful words because that's who you are, who you become. And so when you put those affirmations of I am deserving, I am beautiful, I am rich, I am an author, I am, an accountant, I am whatever that dream is, who you are, then your actions start aligning to make that thing manifest.
Absolutely.
Everything starts aligning, opportunities, because you are now living that I am. So absolutely, I would say yes, whether you have a favorite quote, whether you have words of affirmation, whether you have, a favorite book that you go back to. I love, what's that word? Man, I like Oprah Winfrey. What's the book? It just went up about knowing. Shoot, it'll come to me. It don't matter. But anyway, I listen to that book like on audiobook all the time. I've listened to it several times, but it really changed the I am for me. And so things I know now. Shoot. Anyway, so yes, the short answer, Mom, is yes. I would add those affirmations. And the thing about the vision boards is it's yours. Yes. You can do whatever you want to with it, whatever you want to visualize, whatever goals you have, the person that you want to become, the places you want to go. Mine is huge. Let me say this too. I know Najuk said this, you can do vision boards anywhere. Mine is actually on my computer screen. So I spend a lot of time on my computer. And so I have my vision board as my screensaver, my background. And so every now and then I have to go back and revisit, and it takes me time because I got to change some things because some things have manifested. Yeah. So I have to go back and fill in those spots and rearrange and things like that. But from the author, and I wrote my book that same year, to the promotion in that year, I did that, to traveling. There were specific countries on that thing, and I was able to go to some of those, to just everything. And so I constantly do that. And it's a constant reminder of who I am and where I want to be. And it has my quotes and stuff on there. I always say I dance to the beat of my own drum, and that keeps me authentic.
Yes.
I'm not chasing after anybody else. Absolutely. I march to the beat of my own drum. And
right.
So,
Yeah, and that's good too. And when it comes down to those affirmations, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that in order to receive what you want, you have to believe that you want it. You remember they have individuals say, well, why not me? Why can't I?
Yes.
Answer is because you don't think you deserve it.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm asking you to make sure that the things that you want, you can actually picture yourself in them, and not being so outlandish that it's in your mind unobtainable and it's not reachable. No, you can really picture yourself in this $500,000 house. You see what I'm saying? You can really picture yourself there. And then also when you're talking about affirmations, so ladies and gentlemen, we both are authors, right? And within my book, The Black Collar Mindset, I have a chapter in there that says you are dope. Okay. And what that is it's a section on all affirmation. And then you can cut out certain things that you can use to remind yourself. And I encourage you, put it where you are going in your house so it will be constant and easy for you to see, right? So hopefully every morning you're getting up and putting some water on your face, you get what I'm saying, or whatever. Well, hey, put it in the bathroom. Boom, I'm beautiful today. And then look at it and look at yourself, say, show you right, and keep on going, right? Whatever the case is, put it where it's common. Like you, Camille, you put yours on your computer because you're there. And I encourage you, if you don't have a computer, you have something that you can put somewhere that you can see it. So that vision board, yes, on your cell phone. And then, as a matter of fact, you can add not just having it on your cell phone, but set reminders throughout the day, right? When your phone buzzing, you're right, because 9 times out of 10, everywhere you go, your phone is there. But when you're looking at it, you might as well see something positive for you or something that's going to remind you to get back on track. So don't question what you want if that's what you want. So the answer is, if you say, why not me? It's because you're not ready for it here. So you're not operating in a space where that new car can actually come to you because you don't feel worthy. So if you're not worthy, you won't be.
You're not going to do the things that you're not going to act in a way that says that you're worthy, that brings other things to you. Your actions can literally that look, catching vibes, right? Can block a lot of those things that are trying to come. You said they're trying, but your actions are not in line with it. Therefore, it can't reach you because once you get here, that vibe is like, no, I don't really want it. I don't really want it. And guess what that energy does? It goes to somebody else. And then when they get it, you hating on them.
That's right.
Energy expands, right?
Yeah.
It does. And it expresses itself. And if you're not willing to get that thing and work it, then it's going to go somewhere else.
And it's a standard thing. It's a standard thing. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a little turn here before we talk about where we really want to go as far as 2021. But understand, we are in an environment where we operate at different levels of frequency and standards. So those of you that are thinking about different individuals in your life, there may be a standard that you want, okay, in a person. But I ask you, are you upholding yourself to that standard? So there's some things that's been going on the internet about a young lady saying, hey, I want this type of man. He has to look this good and make this amount of money. And okay, it sounds very superficial, all right? But at the same time, watch this. What are you doing to open up that type of, open up the gates to receive those type of individuals, right? You're not going to find just by happenstance, if you will, you go into a club and you want someone that's, let's say, deeply in the church, so to speak, right? So it's a contradiction. So basically, position yourself for what you want instead of feeling entitled. Like, well, look, just because I woke up this morning, this is what I need. Okay. So, hey, okay. Well, watch this. Let's see how that worked for you.
Right. Yeah. But then let me go back to that power of visualization because that's what it is. I ain't fooling with you today, so
go ahead. Go ahead while you there looking crazy. Crazy as a Betsy bug. But you telling me you want a man that's. Go ahead.
I can't with you, but I'm
somebody hell. Something crazy. You ain't ready to receive it. You ain't ready to receive. Ain't nobody go knock on your door and say, hey, here I am. I'm here to save your life. This ain't Disney. This, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing?
Prince Eric.
You ain't ready for it. See? So be ready, ladies and gentlemen. If you're 2021 to look like something, be like something.
Yes. But here's the thing though, to be honest, I used to, just like the young lady, she we clowning. She knew what she wanted. Her goal was clear and concise. And She opened herself to.
You missed the R part as far as realistic.
But let me tell you, I'm gonna give you my own person, then I do a visualization. So people that know me back in the day, there was a certain type. I had a certain type. They would just be like, I seen this dude and I know you would be the one. I'm like, yeah, because they had to meet certain criteria, period. They had to be tall a certain time. I said 6'6" and above. And yes, there are a lot of guys that are 6'6" and above. They had to be almost blue black, love them blue black. They had to have trunks for legs, and everybody's like, how do you keep attracting these people? Because I know what I want. And I can walk into somewhere and that would be the one out of 500 men, that would be the one that would come to me because I was receptive to that because that's what I wanted. And I never had to say anything. And my friends used to be like, what kind of, can you bottle that up and sell it? And I'm like, I just know what I want. I put it out there and it comes to me. You know what I mean? But I also position myself in certain places. Now, what I forgot to ask was all of them good characteristics.
Yeah,
You come along with that physical.
Everything look good, but then they crazy as hell. Hey, how about you add a mental status of sane?
Oh God, you know what I'm saying? So I got the physical stuff, but I wasn't mature enough yet to remember to think about all of those qualities that they needed. I said I wanted my children to be a certain whatever, and I got that. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, for the relationships, it didn't really work out.
And DNA isn't a very important thing.
Right. But luckily I was blessed with, great, amazing children anyway. But the thing I wanted to say about visualization is, and this is something that I learned, you can create memories in the future. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's what this visualization is. It's important for you to think about yourself in that role. What does it look like? What do you feel like? What do you see around you? What people are, there in your things? I mean, so that here's the thing about memories. What's it called? Alice in Wonderland. The queen said, oh, what a poor sort of memory that only thinks backwards. And I think we talked about it before. Memories can be created in the future and in the past.
That's right.
All right. So you can create a future memory. It's a recall of where you want to be in life, and your actions will align to get you there. You get, invited to a ball and you say, oh, you imagine yourself, it's a black tie affair. I'm gonna wear this black, this, and I'm gonna be this and feeling sexy and all this. You have this memory. And then what do? You go out and you search for that thing because that is a memory that you are recreating.
That's right.
Right? And so we need to visualize ourselves in these particular instances so that our body, our energy, everything will align to go seek out that thing. So I just want to say that when we talk about that as well, you know what I mean, that you have to, that visualization, that memory, that everything. And then you need to, lastly, before we get off of here, fall in love with your dreams. Fall in love with your dreams, because if you don't create that desire to get it. If you're not, the things that you love, like that post that I wrote, you take care of them, you nurture them, you coddle them, you treat them with love and respect, and you make sure that they are taken care of. Do the same with your dreams.
Absolutely.
Do the same with your dreams. Fall in love and create a burning desire with your dreams that get you where you want to be. So your actions and the atmosphere and the universe and God aligned you because you've done the work, right? You've prepared yourself, you position yourself, you put in the work to get it done. And then when the opportunity comes and crosses your path, you are ready to receive that thing that you said that you wanted.
You're absolutely right. And I like that. And you're absolutely right. You have to be able to, love yourself. And, you said something that really triggered a thought when your friends asked if you can bottle something up, for that. But it makes sense. But this is what I want you guys to think about, ladies and gentlemen. We have the choice to put on a certain aroma. That aroma is a representation of your standards as far as what you have and what you want. The thing is, there are certain things or certain people are attracted to your standard.
Yes.
What I mean by that, you have women or men say, what, all men ain't this or all women ain't that. What's the common denominator? If you can understand, watch this. If you can understand that those type of individuals keep coming into your life, it's because you smell a certain way. You walk a certain way, and it's you know what it is? It's the pheromones that keep pulling them. So what you need to do is change your pheromones, right? And what that looks like is my standard now is here. So what happens is an individual that's anywhere below that won't smell it, but they'll smell something different. You know what they smell? They say, oh no, I'm straight. They won't take me. You see, it's not that, all right, I see this person as an easy target. Wow. No, it's no, this is an individual not to mess with because they're walking in a certain way, right? And they're communicating, they articulate themselves in a certain way. So anybody that's less than can operate because, or if they want, they have to elevate to you, not you go down to them. So that is not just for individuals. That's also for your dreams and the things that you want. It's one thing to have a job that's over, you know, that yields over $150,000 or whatever the case it is. But are you willing to put in that much work, or do you have the knowledge to accrue that? No, you still got a minimum wage thought process. You feel me? So what are you going to do? Listen, you can't have a aluminum foil thought process but want a platinum lifestyle. Nut, it don't work like that. So we have to position ourselves, right?
And let me say this too. A lot of people, when you're attracting, and I had to learn from myself, when you're attracted at a certain level, you say, well, I got these standards and everything like that. People can spot a phony a mile away. And if they're continuing to be attracted, that means that your belief system is probably off.
Oh, yeah.
Say whatever you want to say. I only do this and this and that, but your self-worth, your self-esteem is lacking. And people can sniff that out. They are attracted to that energy, to that vibe. And no matter what you do on the outside, there's something about you that says, nah, her self-esteem is down in the dumps. So I'm going to take advantage of this. And then them threes, where you talking you a 7 or an 8, them threes will start making their way back in your life. And you like, what is going on? Or you don't really believe it for yourself.
Hold on, watch this. Or those quote unquote 7 or 8s or even 10s that get you, or that you get with, they're going to treat you like a 3.
Yes.
You know me? Because, and what I mean by that, since we're all adults here, I'm assuming, an individual like, I'll just use myself for an example. Back in the day, I can see someone that it was physically appealing, right? But I know that they was crazy as hell. So what I wanted to do was do what I wanted to do, but that was it. In their mind, they want a whole future. No, you ain't ready for that, and I know you're not. However, I got time for this. You see, so I'm gonna do what I want and I'm done, because you are not ready from where I'm at or want to go. So if I'm here or even want to go here, you got one or two choices. You can either be an extra pair of wings so we both can go, or when I can see or smell that you would be an extra weight. Listen, if I want it, that's if I want it. I'm gonna get it for a minute, boop, cut it off. I'm straight. You feel me? So you have to be willing to understand you may get those individuals, but they are going to get what they want from you, and it won't be synergy.
Yes. And the other thing is, you may get that person because that's where you aspire to be. But if you don't believe that you're worthy of that person, they're out of your league and everything, you will sabotage that relationship to bring either you down, or if it's somebody else, they will sabotage the relationship and start tearing you down to bring them to their self-worth. So you have to be very careful with that. You can sabotage yourself, and other people could try to sabotage you. And then you go, oh, you know what? I see what's going on here. You weren't who I thought you were, or maybe I'm not at the level I thought I was, and I need a little bit more work. If this is what I want to attract and keep, sustain, then I have to do some inside, that inside job that we talk about, some inner work. I have to do that too, so that the next time that 8 comes around, I don't sabotage the relationship because he's out of my league or she's out of my league, or I didn't think, I don't know how to, I don't got etiquette. I didn't know I was going to be going into, well, you said you wanted a millionaire, but you don't even know how to use the utensils on your plate. You might want to take an etiquette class. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You just might want to. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if that individual wants to be with you, they will help coach you,
Yeah.
right? So
But you got to be coachable.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Be coachable, because listen, don't buck the system. Listen, I'm trying to help. I understand the potential, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, we all have potential. You see what I'm saying? Like
Infinite
we
potential.
infinite. Like we're all billionaires in the making, but there's a high percentage of us that's going to die before obtaining it. So you have to be willing to do the things that you need to do to get the things that you want with you.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
know, I don't know, y'all. Look, maybe this is a little bit too much sanity check for the neck, but this is what we do, right? And so, speaking about that, you ready for next year, Miss Camille?
I'm ready for next year. This has been an absolutely wonderful year with Sanity Check and all our Sanity Check family. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for bigger and better. Yes. So how about you? What you doing? What you got cooking over there? I know you always got something cooking.
Always cooking, y'all. Always cooking up some salt for you. But listen, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. But before I will go into that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still on, please make sure that you are subscribing and following this channel, because moving into the next year, there's going to be more interaction, but we're going to transition where you see us at. Okay. So what I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. All of that. Listen, next year, ladies and gentlemen, we will be available on Roku. Yes. Wait a minute. And Amazon Fire too. Shut your mouth. Yeah. So look, based off of your guys' feedback and the opportunities that we have afforded, we're able to transition and go higher. And what that means is that we're taking you with us.
Yes.
Right on. Yes, it is time. It is time. It is time. And so we will be able to reach over 160 million households on demand. And if you're just checking out the Sanity Check, you can binge watch us, right? You get a whole bunch of checks. You feel me? So that's where we're going for 2021. How you feel about that, Camille?
I'm ready. You know, there's so many people, and let me say this, it's going to take the help of you guys, word of mouth, telling people that we're out there. But I know that it can be done and it will be done. But I'm ready, because nobody wants to stay the same year after year. We're growing. You guys have seen the transition from when we first started to our little backgrounds to the sponsorship to where we are now. Seth does an amazing job with the sponsorship ads, and we're just continuing to grow and to hone our skills and to make things better. So 2021 is a year better. We can't go nowhere but up. So
yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, not only will we take you guys with us, but that means better opportunities for our sponsors.
Yes.
Okay? Because if those are individuals that are aspiring to get a different reach, now it's the time to do it. So everything is entry level, but yes. So can I put you on my Roku channel too? Yes. You
Hey,
can,
Mom.
yeah, hey, Mom. So yes, we will be able. So this is going to be in the beginning of the year, but I want you guys to make sure you follow us so you can see that we're live button, and it's more than Facebook Live. It's going to be live, right? But again, going back into the sponsorships. Sponsors, if you are if this is something that you want and you're interested in, just inbox us, let us know, hey, we want to expand with you. And also we have the opportunity to add more content, so it's not just Sanity Check. There will be 12 different categories.
Yes.
All right, 12 different categories, from love and relationship, the health and fitness, even films, real talk, right? Even lifestyle stuff. So it is going to be a huge thing. Even comedy, right? A different comedy's channel, right?
Yes.
On demand, and it can be individuals that you know. So I highly encourage you, stick around. If you have any other questions or concerns, feel free, let us know.
Because if you become a sponsor and it is shown on, in 160 million households around the world, guess what? They're going to see your ad in 160 million households across the world. So what better way to get your product, your book, your, business, whatever it is out there. This is an amazing opportunity. Never before will we think that we can do something like this and other people be able to be a part of it. So I'm telling you now, if you're ready for your business to grow, your, book sales to go up or whatever, let us know. Let us know. We are here and ready to, bring you on board. So yeah, it's gonna be a great year, 2021. And let me say too, 2020 was rough for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
However, there were some people that had been preparing and positioning. Their mindset, their perspective had changed. So even throughout everything, it was still an amazing year. I'm one of those people.
Yes.
There's been so much good that has happened, and I can only imagine how much better 2021 is going to be because of all the stuff that I've gained and learned and everything over 2020, even through its challenges, which are some of the biggest lessons. So I am ready for everything that 2021 has to offer.
You talking about ready? Ready? Listen, this year has been so out of line for me. I didn't like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna say how good it was because it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was ugly. I missed holding people, hugging folks, but at the same time, it prepared me and propelled me to want to dig deeper, to love harder, to think more deeper, right? To utilize innovation. See? So I think what happened was 2020 got me out my comfort zone, said, hey, you think you're doing good? Hey, you can do better. And so it forced me to do better. Say, hey, how are you going to be able to reach, teach, coach, and inspire people from your house?
Yes. Yes.
What? No, because we've been conditioned to do things outside and traveling. Let me connect with this person. But no, now it's forcing us to do things different. Now's the time.
Yes.
See? So it prepared us to be ready to grow. Right.
Absolutely.
And by the way, the plant ain't plastic no more. Right on. Hey, this gonna be a real plant. So therefore, we go water this joint. Get out of here. Yeah, this is a real plant.
New beginnings.
Yeah, that whole new year, new me. No, this is new year, new life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Growth.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our sanity check. So, by the way, we will see you next year. Okay, next year. So this is the last show of the year. Sorry to say, but we got to take care of home. You feel me? We got to get things ready, prepared for you so that we can do bigger, better things and just, you know what I mean? We got to give you the goodness. So we're going to take some time off and we will see you next year. We love you all. I don't think y'all understand that we would not be where we are if it wasn't for you. Seriously, and giving us the opportunity to give you this type of real love, this straight talk. It might sound kind of crazy, but it's still real. You got that crazy cousin. I'm that crazy cousin. You feel me? Oh, man, I'm gonna give you the real. I don't care if you like it or not. You ain't gonna say I'm lying. So it's gonna take time for us to do that. So
mark your calendars.
Yes.
All right, because we want to see you guys back first Saturday of the year. We will be here. Sanity check, also moving across the way. But happy holidays to everybody. Y'all don't forget about us. Like I said, put it in your little reminders and everything like that, because we're going to be here ready to go with some good stuff yet again. So thank you guys for this wonderful year. Thank you for everything. I pray blessings over your families and a good holiday season. So y'all take care.
All right, y'all. Be easy. Later.